So I recently visited Japan and it was the best trip I could ever ask for. Even though I nearly got eaten by the deer at Nara Park, I still had a great time. But I may have possibly spent a bit too much money on Fire Emblem games.
So I just got back from Japan about 3 days ago now, and I've got it all here. So I'm gonna start with the first one I picked up, which was a box copy of Fire Emblem Gaiden, which kind of started the kind of trend of me picking these up while I was in Japan. So in Japan, there's these places called hard-offs, and these places basically have all your like used copies of games, box copies of games, sometimes sealed, sometimes brand new. And I saw this on the shelf because I was going around on trains and I was just seeing what I could find. I was mainly looking for Pokemon copies, but I found this one and it looked genuinely good quality, like the box, and it wasn't that much dear as well. It was only about 30 Australian, so I picked it up and that's kind of where I started from there. And it was this one hard-off store that had this one, and then I also managed to pick up a Genealogy of the Holy War cartridge from the same store. They didn't have the box for it when I went, but I saw this on the shelf and I was just curious, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I might as well just grab this one there, because I did want a box copy at some point, but like I wasn't sure how easy they were to find in Japan, so I just picked up this one just in case. Maybe I'll just use it for my SNES I have at home instead, and then if I find a boxed one I'll just keep that sealed. So those were the two I found from that particular hard-off. Now when I went to Akihabara, I found two boxes. So I actually found the sealed box of Genealogy of the Holy War, and this box is basically in near mint. Like, you can only really tell by the corners. I don't know if you guys can see it there, but there's a bit of chipping on the corners. But besides that, this box is basically mint. Like, it's just brand new, and it wasn't even that much from the original one I bought. It was probably about $15 difference. They do have in these hard-offs all these like second-hand places. They have here in these little A4 like paper kind of sheets, like details of the game or like any issues with it, stuff like that. So I was using Google Translate a lot, just trying to figure out, you know, just how good the quality of the games were and stuff like that. But I've actually never finished Genealogy of the Holy War. I've tried numerous times with a lot of my FE-tuber pals. I've never really been able to get through it, so I'm kind of hoping for this Genealogy remake to come along, so I can actually play it modernly. I don't know, I like the game, but it's just the pacing and the game can be quite slow for me. But that's just my opinion. So, you know, I might give it a try, but I'm not fluent on Japanese, so I probably won't understand a lot of what's going on. So maybe I'll just stick to the possible ROMs. But yeah, so I found that one, and then I found, I think this is New Mystery. I might be wrong. Feel free to get angry at me if you want. But I know this is after. This isn't Marth's first game. This is, I think, his second one. I couldn't find the original one anywhere. That was really hard to come by. But I found this one at another hard-off. The box seems okay. It's got a bit of a dent at the front. It goes inwards, and it's got a bit of a crease on the corners and stuff like that. I think that's I might be wrong. Is that Ghana?
It's Medius, you dumb.
I don't know. I haven't played Marth's game either. There's a lot of Fire Emblem games I'm still been trying to complete. So I'm not quite sure where this takes place in timelines or whatever the hell. But yeah, I picked it up anyway. I can play it on my own Super Nintendo if I really want to. So I will get started with the handheld stuff, so the Game Boys and stuff like that. So I'll start with these loose cartridges I found. So I found this in Akihabara. Funny thing is, this Binding Blade cartridge, I bought this thinking it was Sacred Stones, which is this cartridge. So I already actually found a boxed copy of Binding Blade at a hard off. I can show that one over here. So this one here. I found this one, and that was the same place I found the Garden box. And this box is basically mint quality as well. And it was about 70 Australian, I think, if I'm converting it, 6,600 yen. But yeah, I have actually played Binding Blade until, I think, basically the final chapter of Zephyr. But funny story of that is, when I was playing that, I got up to that chapter, and that's when my channel got hacked years ago. So I had to wipe my whole PC, and I lost the file for it. So I was gonna do the extra, like, final chapter with Idun, but yeah, I unfortunately didn't get to quite finish it because you know, that incident happened a couple years ago. But as it is, I might revisit it possibly. See how we go with that. So that's those ones. I've shown Binding Blade. I found this find at a hard off, and it's an American sealed box of Blazing Sword, and I saw it and I'm like, oh, I need to get that. But obviously with price inflation and scalpers and all that type of stuff, yeah, it's not the cheapest thing in the world. As you can see, it was quite a lot. That's kind of where a lot of where I spent on Fire Emblem kind of went. But I saw it, and I remember when I was very young, I did have a copy of Blazing Sword that I lost. I don't know where it went or anything like that, but I did play when I was little, and I only replayed it, like, I think I want to say 6-7 years ago with JIK, Bismix and stuff like that, when I did a Rebecca playthrough, where basically everyone was shitting on me for trying to make Rebecca work, and I made her, like, my best unit. So that was really fun memories from this game. And yeah, no, it's an American copy, so I will actually be able to understand this one. But yeah, the box is like nearly mint, basically. I think it has been opened, but the game's inside, the seals, like the manuals and stuff inside, and I didn't expect to find this good quality, or let alone English game, at a Japanese hard off store. So it was quite the lucky find, but obviously it was quite expensive, but I think it was a good purchase, to be honest, just because I can't understand this one, I can play this one. So, no, this is probably the find I like the most. I'm most excited to kind of open and play, because it's been quite a while since I've touched that game. For the DS, I found this one, which I believe is a Japanese release only. I know there was one before this on the DS, I think it's just Shadow Dragon. And I've played that one before, oh, not all of it, but I played through halfway. And I think this one was Japanese release only, and this is with Chris, I believe, as well. So I don't know anything about this game. All I know is that a lot of my Fire Emblem friends tend to think it's kind of mid, but you know, I am kind of behind on playing the Fire Emblem games. I've been really busy as of late, and I haven't really had a lot of time to kind of go back and revisit. So it's, you know, I might find a translation online or something like that. But this was basically one of the first ones I found as well at a hard off, and I kind of got them all collectively at the one hard off, and just there's different hard offs. So I was doing a lot of training from different hard offs in between with my friends when I went to Japan, and they were looking for their own things, and then I was looking out for Pokemon and stuff like that. I really wanted a GameCube, and then I noticed a lot of Fire Emblem copies laying around. They all were really good quality, so I kind of just picked them as I went. So I kind of spent like a whole day just going to distinct hard offs, which was a fun day. So that was that one. the next two are Hellius I have found. I'll start with Path of Radiance, or when I translate it, Path of the Blue Flame. I didn't know that's what it was called in Japanese. I found this in Akihabara in a store called Beep, which is a very well hidden store. It's in like one of the back alleys of Akihabara from the main street, and it was a really cramped store. And I was looking for the GameCube games, just because I wanted to find something for a GameCube I did pick up. And then I found this in there, and like in the shelf of other games, and I looked at it expecting it to be really expensive, and I see the price tag and it's 4,500 yen, and I'm like, oh, that's relatively cheap from what I've seen online. So I go to translate it, and unfortunately it translates to faulty disc, scratched disc. So I think this is unplayable, but I think you can find somewhere that is able to like fix, repair broken discs. I don't know. I'll be able to have a look around and see if I can salvage it. But if not, it's, besides the corners of the box, it's really good quality and stuff like that. And the funny thing about buying this, later that night when I found this, there was a Nintendo Direct for Nintendo Direct 2, the Switch 2, sorry, and they revealed Path of Radiance as one of the digital online games you can play for the Switch 2 on the Virtual Console. So it's cool. It's a cool thing to have in my collection. I'll see if I can fix it somehow, but then again, I don't understand Japanese that well, so I might as well I'll probably just keep it sealed on my shelf somewhere. But yeah, it was a really good find. I wasn't expecting. I think this was the one I was expecting the least to find out of all the games. Just because, you know, Path of Radiance sales online are just ridiculous. Like, I've seen a Australian one on eBay for like $700. So, you know, I think it was a really good find to find. I did find Radiant Dawn as well, on a hard off. Yeah, basically, you know, obviously Radiant Dawn. I don't know too much about the game. Tellius is basically on my next to-do list. I remember getting like halfway through Path of Radiance and stopping for some reason. I don't know really why. I don't remember if I was streaming it or whatever. Yeah, it's definitely on my list. So I'm definitely keen to try it at some point. So yeah, so that's kind of about it for my collection of games that I got from my trip to Japan. So who knows, maybe I will possibly stream the Fire Emblem Game Boy copy, Blazing Blade. I am planning on getting a DS capture card soon, so maybe I'll go back to streaming. But yeah, sorry for not uploading in a while. It's been kind of a rough few years for me, so a lot of things going on. But who knows, I'm trying to get back into making content sometime soon, so we'll see how we go with that. But anyways, if you made it this far, I really appreciate you watching, and yeah, sorry for the lack of uploads, but hopefully I'll get back into it soon. I'm still working on a lot of projects, but yeah, just haven't really found a lot of time to kind of commit to those projects, unfortunately, but hopefully I can get around to them soon. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I try to get something out new soon, but I really appreciate it if you made it this far. Anyways, hope you have a good one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.